Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have just seen Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, the sequel to the last horrible Ninja Turtles movie. And guess what? The Ninja Turtles are still roided out, ridiculously oversized versions of the things we knew and loved as children. How do they fit down the manhole when they're that big? These things are freaking huge. They look like they're 7 feet tall. I will grant that in this movie, I believe they look a little different. There's more of a differentiation between sizes in this movie, in my opinion, but they still look like giant roided out monsters that are bulletproof. And that's part of the problem with this film. The other part of the problem with this film is that it is so cheesy. We have gotten to the point where the cheesy nachos are soaked and they're just turned into limp mush. This is so cheesy that there's too much cheese on my nachos. I need to go and get more chips to deal with the amount of cliche, horrible cheese on this movie. Because it's like, look, look, we can't be a team. We can't be a team. Oh, now we can be a team. Now we can be a team. No real, reason for them to not be able to be a team. They have different personalities, yes, but they always had different personalities. Didn't stop them from being a team in the first one, and that aspect of them growing, really, it's not working. Had this been the first movie, it still would have been bad. It still would have been bad, but it would not have been as bad. But now we've got the Ninja Turtles. We've seen them fight as a team before. We've seen them do all this stuff before. But all that kind of went away and they went back to being horrible. And I mean, look. The Ninja Turtles is not designed for my generation. It's a silly, silly movie. But, I mean, Bebop and Rocksteady, who you may know from the cartoons, they were kind of shoved into this movie. There wasn't a real reason for them to need to be there. It wasn't well written. It just wasn't. It's like, here are these two guys who kind of helped out Shredder. So Shredder comes and decides to turn them into mutant monsters. Real good at repaying people there, Shredzy. Really good, yeah. Somebody helps you and you stab them in the back, eventually, people are going to stop working with you. And there's another thing. There's a lot of backstabbing in this movie, spoiler alert. I mean, I don't want to say who backstabs who, but there's a lot of it in this movie. It's like some guy took some crap from other scripts and then threw them into the ooze from Ninja Turtles, and what sprang out of the ribbons and bits and nonsense of these other scripts is this thing that isn't quite formed yet. It doesn't really know what it wants to be. It's just, here it is. And I will tell you this much, yes, my inner child needed a new pair of Superman underpants. After watching this movie, I was so happy. But it is still a really cheesy movie, so I'm going to recommend you not go see this in theaters. I am going to recommend you wait till it comes out on video, sit down at that couch, watch it with your kids, and have 2 beers first. Maybe don't drink in front of your children. That might be a bad example. But still, because this movie would certainly be better with some alcohol, it's just not that great of a movie.